Donald Trump is continuing the fight over the 2020 census. He's been in and out of court, even the Supreme Court, trying to force a plan to fix the congressional apportionment for next year. Failing in all these measures, on Tuesday he signed a memorandum that will bar undocumented immigrants from being counted for the apportionment. Trump said in doing so it would represent a better understanding of the Constitution than the way it has been for over a couple hundred years. He believes he knows better. For the purpose of the reapportionment of representatives following the 2020 census, it is the policy of the United States to exclude from the apportionment base aliens who are not in a lawful immigration status, to the maximum extent feasible and consistent with the discretion delegated to the executive branch, read the memo. Democratic lawmakers slammed this effort. The group that challenged the initial attempt to add a citizenship question to the census said they would sue. Today's memorandum will end up in the dustbin of history as yet another exemplar of Donald Trump's disturbing embrace of white nationalism, said Thomas Saenz, the president and general counsel of the Mexican-American Legal Defense and Educational Fund, in a statement. MALDEF will be in court to stop this latest example of blatantly unconstitutional executive action by a failed presidency. An attorney with the American Civil Liberties Union, Dale Ho, said the president's latest attempt to weaponize the census for an attack on immigrant communities will be found unconstitutional. We'll see him in court, and win, again. Also promising to challenge the memorandum in court is New York Attorney General Letitia James, D. She led a suit involving multiple states against having the question added. This has been a long fight for Trump. He first approached the idea less than 2 weeks after his inauguration. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross announced the next year that the citizenship question would be added. This launched all the legal action, which exposed that a now-deceased Republican strategist had advised that a citizenship question would give Republicans and non-Hispanic whites an electoral advantage. The Supreme Court struck down adding the question last year, saying the administration had presented a contrived reason for wanting to add it. Trump then ordered federal agencies to share administrative records data on citizenship with the Commerce Department. Civil rights organizations launched a lawsuit complaining that the action was discriminatory and violated the Administrative Procedure Act. Last month the administration added 2 political appointees to the Census Bureau, earning criticism from congressional Democrats and bringing with it concern that this would turn out to be another attempt to influence the count. Senator Brian Schatz, D-High, referred to Trump's memo as an illegal and unconstitutional attempt to scare people from participating in the census and influence congressional representation. Oversight and Reform Chair Carolyn Maloney, D. New York, said the panel would hold an emergency hearing next week regarding the census. It's considering additional ways to respond. Taking this step right in the middle of the ongoing census is particularly egregious and sinister because it appears purposefully designed to depress the count, deter people from filling out their forms, and corrupt the democratic processes on which our nation is founded, said Maloney in a statement that was co-signed by the Civil Rights and Civil Liberties Subcommittee Chair Jamie Raskin, DMD. We fought and defeated the president's last attempt to scrawl his anti-immigrant graffiti all over the census, and we'll stop him again now. Referring to his order last July for federal agencies to share administrative records, Trump said, "Today, I am following through on that commitment by directing the Secretary of Commerce to exclude illegal aliens from the apportionment base following the 2020 census." He added that excluding undocumented immigrants reflects a better understanding of the Constitution and is consistent with the principles of our representative democracy. While the memo stipulates that the Commerce Secretary shall take all appropriate action, consistent with the Constitution and other applicable law, to provide information permitting the President, to the extent practicable, to exercise the President's discretion to carry out the policy. Yet Thomas Wolfe, senior counsel and Spitzer Fellow at the Brennan Center for Justice at New York University's School of Law, said the law is patently unconstitutional. He added that Section 2 of the 14th Amendment requires a count of all persons. Justin Levitt, an election law professor at Loyola Law School in Los Angeles, believes the Commerce Department's general counsel will label it as not legal. In April, the administration asked Congress to extend the census deadline because of the pandemic. but now it appears it may be too late to get an accurate count by the December 31st deadline.